Hello everybody and welcome to my first video. This is the Gaming Completionist, also known as DJ Amagoth. This is going to be my first real vlog post, I guess. And I think what I'm going to do is just start off from the beginning about myself and kind of my coming out story in a way. So yeah, first of all, I have to apologize for the robe that I'm wearing. It's really cold and it's early in the morning and I haven't slept yet. I have a habit of staying awake until like fucking 9 a.m. because why not? I'm laid off at the moment, so yay! So yeah, I also apologize for my stash. It's not staying in place and I didn't put any mustache wax in it. Mustachio wax. Anyways, yeah, let's start off from the beginning. I live in the state of Michigan, which, if you don't know, it's the one that's in the shape of a mitt. I can't tell with my fucking viewfinder on my camera, so it's the one that's shaped like a hand, and it's up north. So I live kind of in the northern part of the Lower Peninsula, and around here, like, I live in kind of a way outside of any major cities, any major places. Like, the place that I live closest to, it's a town and it's trying to act like a city. Like, it has some things like that a city has, but at the same time it doesn't. It's hard to explain, but it's very diverse. It's surprisingly diverse. Like, well, religious people, we have like Catholics, Christians, Protestants, Seventh-day Adventists, the people that go door to door handing the little flyers that says the clock tower on it. You know, we have a bit of everything, and I don't know, that may come into ties later. Actually probably not. I don't even know why I brought that up, but yeah. But around where I lived almost all my life, here at home, like, each house is like really far apart. So the only people that I really made friends with first were the people that I lived next door to. When I was born, we lived in a shit, what's it called? My mind went blank. Oh yeah, whatever, a trailer park. Okay, we lived in a trailer park, and it wasn't until I was, I think, one or two, I don't remember, but I was still too young to actually remember. We ended up moving into a house, and the very first people that I met were the people who moved in next door to it, which, well, I'll just call them C and yeah, C and C, because why not? So yeah, I was really young at the time, and they were pretty older than me, and they were both chicks. Let's see. So that was different. But after I started going to school and everything, you know, when I was old enough to actually go to school and I met new people, you know, we would be friends for like a short period of time. I would probably say like a month at most, maybe. And then for some reason they just decided to start picking on me. And I'm sorry. And then you know, I kind of always lived in this setting where the only real friends that I had were, of course, the two girls next door, and just my own imagination. So, you know, I'd make up imaginary friends and talk with them and all that stuff. You know, stuff that normal kids normally do, but it kind of stayed that way for a long period of time, like longer than it should have been. Hold on, I'm trying to think. But yeah, when with school and everything, I met people who actually lived on the same road as me, and you know, it was pretty much the same thing, but we would hang out a lot longer and actually be friends for a lot longer. And then it kind of felt like some of those people from school who were always picking on me, that they got lumped in with that group of friends, and then they thought, hey, why not pick on him because everybody else is doing it? So it wasn't a big surprise when in high school I made it into the group of outcasts and nerds and geeks and shit. So yeah, I'm a hardcore nerd. I'm a big geek. You probably can't see it, but in the background I have like a shit ton of board games. I have like a D&D board game and a bunch of other crap like that. But yeah, I'm straying from the subject. So, you know, the only groups of friends that I had were the outcasts. So when I actually started making friends and realizing that I was gay, I felt a little awkward. Like, I don't know how to describe it. 'Cause in a way I kind of knew that it was like that for a long period of time. Like, I had friends, like, growing up, and, you know, I kind of felt like there was a little something more there, but at the same time, I'm like, that's probably normal. But it wasn't until high school when I actually started, like, getting a crush on one of my friends that I realized, oh, that's not normal, is it? Like, what would it be like if I were to date them? Is that normal, guys? So, surprisingly, they were totally cool with it, but then again, they were the group of outcasts, so they really don't have much say in saying, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get out of here, because they know how it feels to be like that, or to be in that position, where they're the ones that are being pushed aside because of that stuff. So, when I initially came out to my friends, because that was the first group of people that I ever came out to, it wasn't a sudden thing because I was afraid still that they would turn out like the rest of the people that I grew up with. And, you know, I ended up saying, you know, oh, hold on, go back a little bit. Like, I used a beard, what's called a beard in the gay community, which is when you date somebody of the opposite sex and say, oh yeah, guys, I'm totally straight, or at most bi. So that's kind of what I did. I said, oh yeah, she's pretty cute, but I think I'm bi. Something like that. So yeah, I ended up dating a friend of a friend initially, who was a chick. Obviously, things didn't work out. No surprise there. It was a weird experience, to say the least. But in my heart, I knew that it wasn't my thing. It probably wasn't. Yeah, I was still in high school, I think. Yeah, I was still in high school when I actually dated a friend who was a male. But I'll get into that stuff in the future, in a different video, most likely. Let's see. Back on the subject of growing up and all that stuff and my coming out experience. In a way, my coming out experience was forced. It was against my will to do it, you know, in front of my family. Sorry about that. Camera screwed up. Let's see. That experience I'm not really going to get into here, and I probably won't in the future, so I apologize. But I will tell you that it was forced, and I was so nervous. Like, I knew I had to tell them. So I ended up going over to my elementary school friend's house. We had a sleepover, and we had sleepovers for a long fucking time. Oh God. We're gonna call him L. I never dated him. No, I never dated him. I doubt. He still doesn't even know that I'm gay, quite honestly. Hell, he'll probably find this video and know now. So hey, I love sucking dicks. Let's see. I stayed the night over there, and I got a call at like 7 in the morning. We were still passed out from staying up all night and playing video games and all that stuff. So I got on the phone, and I really expected my family to not react the way that they did. But I think that mostly spawns from, you know, growing up around people who just kind of hated me for no real reason. And to actually give somebody a reason to hate me, I would feel weak. Hell, I still feel weak in that position, like giving people fodder to just make fun of me. But in a way, you kind of grow up after some point and just say, fuck it. I just don't give a shit anymore. Do whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Because I honestly don't give a fuck anymore. But, yeah. Back on the subject. I got a call at like 7 in the morning. And my friend's mom grabbed the phone, you know, handed it to me. I'm like, hello? And she's like, so, what's going on? Tell me. You gotta let me know. And I said, oh, son of a bitch. Okay. So I went downstairs. My friend's mother was in the kitchen. I don't think she was in earshot. She might have heard me. But I didn't know what to say. And I remember just the rush of emotions, just everything happening at once. I'm like, I didn't want to tell you. I started crying. I mean, I was trying not to be loud, but I'm pretty sure I might have been a little bit loud. And then I just said, I'm gay. And my mother is just like, oh, that's it? I'm like, what kind of reaction was that? Oh, that's it? Chastise me, say something. No, I already knew. How'd you know? I cleaned your room once. And then immediately alarms went off in my head. I'm like, oh shit, what'd you find? Did I accidentally leave the computer on? Did I not clean up stuff? And then she goes, well, I put some clothes in your drawer. And the drawer was full. So I put it in the other drawer. I said, well, I don't really use drawers for... Oh. Oh, you found... Yeah, I found toys. So that was fucking embarrassing. She knew before I even fucking told her. Oh, shit. Just thinking about it still makes me just go, oh, God, I hope in the future when I start dating somebody and I bring them home, that she will not bring up that shit. But I know she would, because that's the kind of family that I live with. I know that how they act. But yeah, surprisingly they were cool with it. But then again, after thinking about it long and hard, and this was after, I came out and I realized that there are other family members in my family who are gay, more specifically lesbian. My aunt, is she my aunt? Hold on, let me think. Yeah, my aunt. My aunt, call her B. My Aunt B, she's a lesbian. And I didn't know this initially, because I knew her up until I was probably in the final years of elementary school. Like, she lived with my grandmother, and she dressed really butch. And at that point in my life, I wasn't aware of the fact that there were people who like people of the same sex. So I would see her, and she would dress really butch, And I would think, why are you calling Aunt B a her? It's totally a dude, right? And nobody fucking clarified it for me, except at one point my father's like, no, aunt means female. I'm like, oh. And that was it. Like, I didn't think, then why does she dress like that? I just went, oh, okay, whatever. So how was your day? So when I did put 2 and 2 together, it wasn't until probably middle school when I learned about stuff like that. Like, at that point I was being called, oh, fag, stuff like that. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together until then. And I should have fucking thought back, like, oh, my family and all parts of my family is totally cool with it, so why am I so nervous in coming out to them? But I don't know, it was just one of those things that I completely forget about, which I'm sure that you guys are familiar with if you watch my Let's Play videos. So yeah, that was my coming out experience. I wish I actually had something more entertaining and something more real, because I know that there's a lot of people out there who've been through hardships and have been through, or who live with families who are like hardcore religious and not cool with that stuff at all and just get ostracized from the family. But I don't want to lie, you know, so I'm telling you the truth. This is how my experience was. Guaranteed, if you're gay and you decide to come out, it may not be that way, but I just want you to know that, you know, it is a good feeling. It feels fucking amazing coming out to your family, because, you know, like being on the internet and using your username as a mask, an anonymous mask, to be somebody who you're not, or to be the real you. Being the real you in front of your family is, it's just so much more better. So much more better. That sounds like broken English. But it's really good. So yeah, good first video, I guess. So yeah, getting back on the subject about this channel, I probably won't update constantly. It'll be once in a while, whenever I can think of something to talk about, I'll bring it up. But until then, if you have any suggestions, leave some questions, like message me through YouTube, or, you know, just leave a comment down below if you want, and I will probably make a video about it. So I also try to make it a habit to respond to every comment, but if I do decide to make a video about it, I probably won't respond, so don't be put off by it. Yeah, I guess that's it. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Take care.